up guys, my name is Alex and welcome to Let's Talk, where I talk about all things queer that have interested me in the past week. Let's get into this. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the same-sex marriage postal plebiscite that we had last week. Well, the results were announced last week, and I want to talk about this because it's obviously a big deal here in Australia. And I also feel like maybe some of you, especially in my last Supergirl recap video, I was quite emotionally drained through that video, and I just wasn't quite up to where I usually am, and that's because this survey, it just, it fucked with me. It fucked with me so much last week. It was just, oh man, it was emotionally draining. So I want to talk to you guys about it in case you don't know what happened, what's going on. Yeah, in case you guys are outside of Australia and kind of want to know the details and what's going on with your Australian friends. So as you guys may or may not know, Australia had a voluntary postal plebiscite happen in regards to seeing how Australia thought of changing marriage to include same-sex marriage. Now it's important to note, because I know a lot of people, especially on Twitter, outside of Australia, even some people inside of Australia, thought this was sort of like legalizing same-sex marriage. It is not in any way. This was a survey just to see how Australia thought. It was a $122 million survey. And what it did was, if there was a majority yes vote, then our parliament would then start talking about it and discussing possibly changing the legislation. So yeah, important to note that even though there is a yes vote, the majority of Australia did vote yes, Parliament could just easily say, no, we're not changing anything. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but that's what us as Australians have just had to deal with. You know, even if we campaign and we rally and we get that yes vote, Australia as a whole votes yes. The people in Parliament can take their own personal views and be like, I know I am here to represent Australia, and I know Australia said yes, but I personally believe no, so I'm going to vote no. That's what they could do. So like I said, the survey results were announced last Wednesday. That happened at 10 a.m. So I was, usually I film my recap videos on Wednesdays, my Supergirl recap videos on Wednesdays, so that's why it was late last week. I was a nervous wreck all Wednesday. Well, all Wednesday morning, I should say. My tummy was just churning. And then Wednesday afternoon, I was quite down and quite depressed because I didn't expect the vote to be so close. It was 61.6% voted yes. That I was honestly expecting it maybe around the 70s percentage. And so I was quite shocked when it was a low 60%. I've definitely, after a week of mulling on it, definitely realized, when it comes to political voting and stuff like that, that is actually quite a big win. So yeah, I've come to terms with it, but on Wednesday, I was actually quite depressed by the vote. The state that I live in, ACT, actually had the highest percentage yes vote. I think it was 74%. So the state that I live in actually was closer to what I thought the rest of Australia would vote like. So quite proud of my state. So yeah, all that got announced on Wednesday. And like I said, didn't legalize anything, just sort of showed the parliament what Australia thinks of this. Now it's up to the parliament to legislate it. Now it looks like they'll be going in to discuss it on December 3rd. I believe I read somewhere that they're not actually leaving that room until it's done. So it does look like we're going to get same-sex marriage legalized before Christmas, but there is a big worry because there is a few people in Parliament that are wanting to replace this act of discrimination with another. They're always talking about, we're happy for same-sex marriage to be legalized as long as it doesn't hinder religious freedom, right? So that's what's being argued right now. What kind of protections will, people of religion have, or people that just don't agree with same-sex marriage have? They don't even necessarily need to be religious. So hopefully we get something soon. December 3rd is when they go in. Who knows when they will come out. And yeah, I will keep you guys updated on what bill gets legalized. So yeah, keep your Aussie friends in mind, because it's been a shit show for the last couple months. It is still going on. It's fun to have your rights argued about. But moving on from that, I want to talk about Grey's Anatomy, because the Grey's Anatomy winter finale happened, so like mid-season or winter finale happened this past week, and we got some more Arizona and Carina interactions. And I know, I think it was last episode or maybe the episode before, Carina was hooking up with Owen. I was like, oh, okay, so there's another one of Arizona's love interests gone. But I have to say, Arizona and Carina's interactions this episode, actually probably one of my favorite. Like, I think when I was talking about when they were sort of having their flirty moments, sort of when at the start of the season, right? I talked about how loved the two of them. Think they're gorgeous together, right? Carina, gorgeous. My biggest issue though was that it kind of felt it wasn't like what's the word? Maybe romantic enough, or like emotional enough. It was just sort of sex, right? And that's what I wanted. I wanted more of like an emotional side from Carina in regards to Arizona. And that's what we kind of got this episode. I don't know. We kind of saw more of a vulnerable side of Carina, and I loved their interactions in this most recent episode of Grey's Anatomy. I'm back on board the ship. I'm back on board. So, yep. Again, I'm excited again for these two. I'm nervous because, like, I don't know if they're, like, committed to these two or if they're just sort of flirting with this relationship. I don't know. I'm not prepared to have my heart hurt again so soon, so I'm on board, but just like, my emotions are getting played with. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like all of their scenes are on YouTube. So if you don't actually watch Grey's Anatomy, you can check out their scenes on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is Marvel's Runaways. I haven't talked about this previously because there's been, I guess, a couple things pop up in trailers and in articles and stuff like that in regards to Runaways, which I've been excited about, but I kind of wanted to talk about it closer to the release date so people don't forget about it, right? But Marvel's Runaways is obviously a Marvel's TV show that is airing this week. It's premiering this week on the 21st, I believe. So I wanted to talk about Marvel's Runaways because one of the main characters in this show, Caroline, is queer. She is struggling with her sexuality, I believe. I'm not sure how she identifies. I believe she's in the comic. I think she identifies as lesbian, but not entirely sure. Someone correct me if you know how she identifies. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what they do with her character. I don't know. It could be, honestly, it could just be like another Riverdale, how they've been saying, oh yeah, she's struggling with her sexuality, and then they give her like a 2-second kiss and then that's it. I don't know what they're going to do with her throughout the series, but I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. So if you guys want to check that out and see what they do with the show, what they do with her character, that's happening this week. Obviously, I'll be updating you guys if you guys don't really want to watch it. Yeah, if anything happens, I'm gonna talk about it. But yeah, I'm very curious indeed. Next up, I want to talk about Madam Secretary. So Madam Secretary is a TV show. It's on its 4th season. I have not watched any episode before this week. I watched season 4, episode 7 this week. No idea what the show was about, to be honest. No idea who the characters were, but I watched it because Sarah Ramirez, who plays played Callie Torres on Grey's Anatomy, has joined this show. I have to say, love her. I love her so much. I don't know if they're gonna touch on her character's sexuality, but she looks banging. She's got like the suits rocking this episode. I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and honestly, I'm gonna keep on watching the show because of her. I don't know. I'm whipped for her, to be honest. So yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, I mean, I picked it up, nearly halfway through season 4, no context. I caught on pretty quickly. It's not like, I don't know, I feel like you can catch on pretty quickly if you want to do what I did and just start where she joins. And I didn't feel too lost. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with their character. The actual show looks pretty interesting as well. I might go back and watch it. Although I'll probably do it after season 4 ends or after, I don't know how long Sarah Sardar's character's gonna be on the show. I feel like she might be there for at least a little while, so hopefully there for a good long while. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with the show. But I liked it. I liked it just like in general as well. But let's move on to the L Word Reboot. So I talked a little bit about how they were creating the L Word Reboot a little while ago, and they have recently announced the showrunner for the show. So I'm sure I'm gonna butcher her name, but her name is Maja. I'm sure I've butchered her name, but I'm not gonna lie, literally this weekend I went offline because I needed a break from social media after the whole survey thing, and I started rewatching a whole bunch of old queer films that I was a fan of, and I watched The Four-Faced Liar. I don't know why I was like drawn to it, but I watched it again because why not? But she actually plays like one of the main characters on The Four-Faced Liar, so I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get kind of excited about the L Word Reboot. I still need to actually finish the original L Word. I might do that this week. I still don't know if we have a date for the reboot, when that's gonna happen. But yeah, I thought I would update you guys on what's going on with that, because we have a showrunner. We have a showrunner, and I'm keen. But I think that's about it from me today, guys. If you would like to see some more extra content, if you would like to join this awesome fangirl community we've got going over on Patreon, there is a link to that in the description. I post a whole bunch of like reaction videos. There's going to be Supergirl reaction videos. I am going to be reacting to the crossover episodes next week. So all of them, that's going to go up on my Patreon, so look out for that. But yeah. Also, a big shout out to my Patreon sponsors, Alex, Marissa, and Corey. You guys are incredible and help me do what I do. You guys fill my heart with love. But I think that's about it from me. I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.